by accepting fate and staying here. I might as well be tied up, gagged and bound. Get away, I must go, that doesn't mean to say I'll never need you more than I do now. But there's more to life than this. No doubt there'll be no free handout, but I have to find out where this road will lead. Some men are born to be free. Some men are handed a key. But I was born to be playing with life, and death is my destiny. What am I if I miss this chance to do or die? I've nothing much to lose, much more to gain. I have cried enough not to be satisfied, till I am something more than just a name. I might even rise to fame. No doubt I will cry my heart out long before I find out what's in store for me. Some men are born to be free. Some men are handed a key. But I was born to be me. I leave my heart in charge of my destiny.
David, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Well, your real name is Woodward, isn't it?
Yes.
So you're related, really.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can tell him now you're deep throat.
It's good to see you, and it's nice to have somebody sing live, too. Good. Because that's a plucky thing to do, isn't it? On a live show.
On a live show, yes.
Yeah.
And I had a bit of bronchitis 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So there's still a little bit hanging in there.
But you've always had the old husky tones.
True, very true.
Yeah. We've waited a long time to have you on the show. This new show, this Matador that you're going to be doing, when do you think that's going to happen?
Well, they still can't give me a time. All the music's done, and the album is out.
It's a kind of like Jesus Christ Superstar. You're going to get the music out first and then
do the play.
show.
Yeah. So it's just a story of El Cordobés, or El Cordobés. And
how's your Spanish?
Terrible, as you just heard.
You're a natural for it. Yeah, yeah.
But it's an exciting story, and I'm just waiting for them to give me a time. I'd like to give it a go.
What about the story of you coming back to live amongst us again? Is there any truth in that?
Well, I'd like to get a house over here again, but not to. I would like to live part-time in America and part-time here. I have two residences. You know.
Yeah. Well, you could live in the air like David Frost.
Well, that's
Between-
Live on British Airways.
yeah.
It's between
One
the
way
two.
to do it.
Yeah.
That's what I do most of the time.
You've been back in the land of your forefathers, haven't you? Filming in Wales. How are they treating you there now?
Great. I mean, most of the people when we were filming were because I'm an entertainer. You know, they see me as an entertainer. But we had some time to kill, and we were driving around in a Range Rover. We have some Range Rovers to travel around in, and we were traveling about in this Range Rover, and I saw an old friend of mine I went to school with, and he said, "How's it going, Woodsy?" You know, it wasn't like, "Oh, there's Tom Jones." It was,
Yeah.
"Everything all right, Woodsy?" I said, "Oh, yeah, great." And I saw a teacher, Miss Bat, her name is, and she said, while we were filming, you know, she was walking the dog, and I saw her, and she said, I read in the paper that you had a bit of a difficult time in school. She said, I never had any trouble with you. I said, no, of course not, because I still, you know, the back of my head is still flat, where she used to give me a
Is there anything in Wales about, as there would be in most small communities, about not letting you get too big for your boots?
Oh, yes, they'll bring you down to earth if you try to, I mean, because I've lived in America for quite some time, I use American expressions without really realizing it. And they said, "Christ, what's the matter with you, Tommy? Getting all Hollywood on us here." So you have to be careful.
How did you evolve that act of yours? That, you know, when you came on with the hip swiveling and all the rest of it,
Well,
the groin thrusting.
yeah, well, I always liked to dance. In the 50s, I used to go to ballrooms and like to dance. So I thought, give the people something to watch as well as listen to. And the tie, taking the tie off was just because singers' our necks expand, you know, when you sing. So I wanted to get rid of that bow tie as soon as possible. So people thought it was a sort of a sexy move, but it was really to.
Yeah. But you used to take your shirt off as well.
Well, once in a while it's happened. Yeah.
Yes, give the chest room to
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Carrying on from there.
Yes, good point. Yeah, I mean, they gradually began to. Initially, I think they had trouble taking you in because you were on a show with the Rolling Stones and you had a tough
Yes,
time.
the first time I came to London, the first time I performed in London was in the summer of '64, and I opened a show in a discotheque for the Rolling Stones. And the girls were looking at me strange, like if they couldn't quite get it. And then when Mick Jagger came on doing the same kind of thing, it was okay. I mean, I could see that he was, you know, getting across to these kids, but they were a little frightened of me.
They gradually grew to love you, though.
Well, thank God for
Yes,
that.
yeah. Are they still hurling their underwear at you?
Yes.
You kind of... Not tonight, please. No, it would be longer underwear now with double gussets and everything. The elastic on the legs.
No.
No.
There's all kinds, you know, my audience is, you know, from little children to old ladies. So I do get a good mixture of
nappies
of
and
underwear.
Yes. Now, as a matter of fact, talking of children, Mr. and Mrs. Simon Thompson, who I think are with us in the audience at the Children in Need on a couple of Fridays ago, they offered £1,000 if they could have a chance to meet you. I think we can see them in the audience. There they are. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. You'll meet Tom in hostility afterwards. Tom, we were talking. You've lived in America, and obviously, you know, do you take a lively interest in American politics?
Not really, because I'm not an American citizen. I'm still a British subject, but I'm an American resident. So one thing you can't do is vote in America. So, you know, I don't...
So the decision, you won't have to take the decision, but could I ask you quickly, Bob, do you think if the Republicans put up Clint Eastwood, he could be the next president?
No, I think that people now want somebody who's a little bit more attentive to the job than Ronald Reagan.
I bet he could be. What do you think?
Well, I think that one of the things that Democrats dreamt of was finding a popular figure like you're mentioning. I mean, I think 1 or 2 elections ago, Walter Cronkite, the most trusted man in America, the great newscaster, could have done wonders, perhaps. But then he's a very intelligent man and knows about politics. But Clint Eastwood would not carry conviction this time, I don't know.
Who do you think, then, is going to be?
What is it going to be? Bush, Dole, Gore, long shot, Jackson do better than people expect, but it could be one of the other 8.
Yeah. Bob?
How about that
Really
playing
went far.
safe?
I think probably Senator Dole. That'd be a guess.
Well, we're glad to see you back, Tom.
Thank you.
So thank you to my guest.